Wrestling is a sport that requires a lot of skill, strength, and coordination. But not all wrestlers are equally good at executing their moves safely and cleanly. Some wrestlers are known for often injuring their opponents or themselves or making mistakes. In this video, we present the top 10 most unsafe WWE wrestlers who are notorious for their unsafe moves and botches. Let's find out who made the list and why. The Beast Incarnate is not only one of the most dominant and feared wrestlers of all time, but also one of the most brutal and ruthless. He has bloodied or seriously injured many wrestlers by maltreating them with his hard punches, kicks, and suplexes. One example of this is Randy Orton, who suffered a deep laceration to his head at SummerSlam 2016 after Lesnar attacked him with several elbow strikes. Kurt Angle, Hardcore Holly, and A-Train also had to undergo surgery due to Lesnar's sloppy technique after he dropped them wrong on the head or twisted their spine. Lesnar cares little for the safety of his opponents and often goes beyond the limits of the script, which has earned him several conflicts with other wrestlers and officials. As Chris Jericho said, he's a fucking cop who does what he wants. The leader of the Titus. Worldwide was not only likable and funny, but also awkward and embarrassing. He has injured many wrestlers or hurt himself by missing or botching his strikes, throws, and holds. An example of this is Darren Young, who suffered a serious elbow injury at Main Event 2015 after Titus O'Neil dropped him on the floor incorrectly with the Clash of the Titus. Rusev, Apollo Crews, and himself also suffered from Titus O'Neil's awkwardness after he missed his punches or throws or hid under the ring. Titus O'Neil was often liked for his personality and humor, but also ridiculed for his numerous botches and lack of skill. As JBL said, he's the most entertaining man in sports entertainment, but he's got to watch what he's doing. A charismatic entertainer was also an unreliable wrestler in the ring. He has injured many wrestlers or hurt himself by missing or botching his moves, landings, and actions. An example of this is Randy Orton, who suffered a serious shoulder injury on Raw 2007 after Mr. Kennedy dropped him incorrectly on the floor with the Green Bay Plunge. Shawn Michaels, Bobby Lashley, and himself also suffered from Mr. Kennedy's incompetence after he missed his moves or landings or got tangled in the ropes. Mr. Kennedy has often been praised for his mic and entertainment talents, but also hated for his arrogance and lack of discipline, which has earned him several firings and setbacks. As John Cena said, "He's a great performer, but he needs to be more professional." The big guy was not only powerful and impressive, but also ruthless and dangerous. He has injured many wrestlers or endangered their health by maltreating them with his hard punches, lifting, and throwing techniques. An example of this is CM Punk, who suffered a serious knee injury at Hell in a Cell 2012 after Ryback dropped him wrong on the table. Dolph Ziggler, Kalisto, and Kofi Kingston also suffered from Ryback's carelessness after he hit, lifted, or threw them too hard. Ryback has often been blamed for his lack of professionalism and talent, which has earned him several accusations and lawsuits. As CM Punk said, "He's a steroid guy who hurt me on purpose." He was the Mexican aristocrat who came to the ring with his own ring announcer and his luxurious car, but also the ruthless opponent who injured many wrestlers or hurt himself. He has injured or endangered the health of many wrestlers with his hard punches, kicks, and submission moves, such as Rey Mysterio, who suffered a serious knee injury on Raw 2011 after Del Rio attacked him with a crossarm breaker. Sin Cara, Sheamus, and Edge also suffered from Del Rio's uncontrollability after he hit them with his punches, kicks, or holds, or threw them the wrong way. Del Rio has often been criticized for his lack of professionalism and skill, which has earned him several problems and punishments. As Daniel Bryan said, he's a great wrestler, but he needs to show more respect. A popular diva was also an inexperienced wrestler. She has injured many wrestlers or hurt herself by missing or botching her kicks, jumps, and holds. One example of this is Liv Morgan, who suffered a concussion at Raw 2018 after Brie Bella hit her in the face several times with the Yes Kick. Ruby Riott, Nikki Bella, and herself have also suffered from Brie Bella's awkwardness after missing her jumps or landings or getting tangled in the ropes. Brie Bella has often been criticized for her lack of improvement and skill, which has earned her several negative reactions from fans and fellow contestants. As Mick Foley said, "She's had a bad day, but she's not a bad person." A spectacular high flyer was also an embarrassing botcher. He has injured many wrestlers or hurt himself by missing or botching his jumps, landings, and maneuvers. An example of this is Sheamus, who suffered a serious shoulder injury on Raw 2012 after Cara threw him out of the ring incorrectly. Alberto Del Rio, The Miz, and Cesaro also suffered from Cara's incompetence after he hit them with his jumps or landings or got tangled up in the ropes. Cara has often been mocked for his numerous botches and his lack of chemistry with his partners and opponents, which has earned him several nicknames and memes. As Chris Jericho said, "He's a good guy, but he just doesn't have any luck." The biggest and strongest woman on the roster is also the most uncontrolled and dangerous. She has put many wrestlers out of action or injured them with her uncontrolled punches, throws, and drops. An example of this is Becky Lynch, who suffered a broken nose and concussion at Raw 2018 after Jax hit her in the face with a punch. Kairi Sane, Bayley, and Zelina Vega also suffered from Jax's carelessness after she threw them wrong, dropped them, or pulled their hair. Jax is often criticized for her lack of experience and timing, which has earned her several negative reactions from fans and colleagues. As Alexa Bliss said, "She's a very strong woman, but sometimes she doesn't know how strong she is." He is the man who had the longest winning streak in wrestling history, but also the man who injured many wrestlers or injured himself. He has injured or ended the careers of many wrestlers with his hard punches, kicks, and spears, such as Bret Hart, who suffered a severe concussion at Starrcade 1999 after Goldberg hit him with a kick to the head. William Regal, Chris Jericho, and Brock Lesnar also suffered from Goldberg's uncontrollability after he hit them with his punches or spears or lifted them incorrectly. Goldberg has often been criticized for his lack of experience and skill, which has caused him several embarrassing moments and defeats. As Triple H said, "He's a great athlete, but he needs to learn how to wrestle more." An impressive giant was also a bad wrestler in the ring. He has injured many wrestlers or hurt himself by missing or botching his punches, kicks, and holds. An example of this is Rey Mysterio, who suffered a serious knee injury on SmackDown 2009 after the Great Khali hit him wrong with the Khali chop to the head. John Cena, Batista, and himself also suffered from the Great Khali's incompetence after he missed his punches or kicks or got tangled up in the ropes. The Great Khali was often respected for his size and success, but also despised for his boredom and lack of talent. As Edge said, "He's the biggest man I've ever seen, but he needs to learn how to wrestle more." If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe and look forward to more lists.